Hey guys, welcome to Total Health Live with Dr. Sedano. I'm Dr. Nick Sedano, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today I want to talk to you about the power of focus. Because I'll tell you what, your success or failure in life really comes down to a few different things, and one of them is what you are focusing on. So guys, this is a game changer. What you focus on will dramatically change your outcomes. So my purpose of this talk today is to give you practical tips so you can dramatically change your outcomes, so you can get the results you want, successes you want, the life you want, the dreams and desires you want. So that's what today's about on Motivation Wednesday. Motivation Monday. It is not Wednesday yet. In fact, guys, for you who are just joining for the first time, our purpose is to really help you live longer, healthier, and more abundant lives, and Motivation Monday is just going to do just that. So anyway, let's move right in with the power of focus. Guys, what you focus on is going to change the lens, the way you look at life, okay? So you have different lenses, the way you look at things. All of us, every single one of us goes through adversity. Every single one of us goes through different painful situations, whether it be the loss of a loved one, whether it be the loss of a job. Whoops, hold on a second. Let me fix this. I don't know why it just did that. There we go. Whether it be the loss of a loved one, a job, maybe you thought you were going to get a promotion that you didn't get, maybe you got a medical report that you didn't like, you got a diagnosis you didn't particularly care for. So all of us go through different adversities. But how we perceive things and how we look at things through the lens that we call our eyes and our mind dramatically changes the outcome of it. Think of yourself at a party. If you were at a party and you were looking around through a camera lens at the different people in a group, you might see people over here having a great time dancing, and you'd come away from that party saying, boy, that was some swinging party. People were just having a blast. They were dancing. They were having a great time. There's a lot of movement going on. What if you focused in with your camera lens on this lady over here, and instead you looked at it and said, wow, there was a lot of anger at this party. This party was pretty intense. There seemed to be a lot of tension there. The minute I walked in, I could feel the pressure. I could feel the weight of the room. If you're looking at this guy over here, he looks like he's out of control. Maybe he's drunk, and you're thinking if you were just focused in on that guy, you'd look at it and say, boy, this party was a little bit crazy, a little bit out of control. I just wanted to get out of it without, having something spilled on me or get into a fight. And what if there were some people hanging out in the back corner over here, and they were kind of, passionate with each other, making out a little bit? You would think, boy, this party was pretty swinging. I'll tell you, there were people connecting all over the place, a lot of people hooking up. So, all the perceptions are different. You look at this party from different lenses and different eyes. In fact, different people would walk in and think, this party was very different. So what we focus on actually has a lot to determine how you feel. So our focus, okay, so what you focus on will determine how you feel in life. So if you're focusing on things that are negative, the things that are, damaging and destructive, you're focusing on what's going on with the news, if you're looking at some terrorist report or something going on with the economy, you might get down. So now it's changing how you feel. If you focus on something that's upbeat, if you listen to things in the morning that are empowering, maybe listen to motivational things like a Tony Robbins or a Jack Canfield or somebody that's in your profession, and you listen to something in motivational audio. Or how many times you're listening to songs on the way to work and it just immediately triggers, and you know what I'm talking about. You could be driving along in a bad mood and all of a sudden you hear a song, and in an instant it just takes you back to your childhood, and all of a sudden you're feeling great about things again. Well, that's what I'm talking about. What you focus on can change your state, and your state has everything to do with how you perceive life. So what determines your quality of life comes down to your state. And what I mean by that is, what kind of mood are you in? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you grateful? Are you joyful? Are you depressed? Are you anxious? Those are all your different states, and we can actually rate them on a scale of, say, 1 to 10. If you're a 10, you're at peak performance. You're a high achiever. You're just humming on all 12 cylinders. If you're down at a 2 or a 3, your energy levels are in the dumps. You're going to start bringing things and attracting things into your life that are maybe not the things you're looking for. You're in that negative state, and you tend to draw that. If you're maybe at a 7 or an 8, You might go into a business deal situation and maybe you get the contract, but maybe you don't. But you're thinking to yourself, boy, if I was at a 10, if I was just at, high energy peak performance, I would have gotten that deal. I know it. But you know what? I went in there in the dumps. Maybe you went in there in a 4 or a 5, and next thing you know, it just didn't go as well as you thought. And we see this a lot. You can look at an athlete and they're focused on peak performance, and they're vibrating at a level 9 or a 10, and they're a batter. They might get, a home run. They might hit the ball out to left field and just, hit the wall with it and end up getting a triple or a double. But if they're at a 2 or a 3 when they're stepping up to the plate, they may ground out, they may strike out, they're going to pop out, they may just get a little tip ball to the pitcher. But either way, they're going down, they're out. So your state is going to determine a lot about your success in life. So what determines your quality of life, once again, comes back to your state. Not only that, how you feel each day. So like I said, are you feeling great? Are you feeling high energy? Are you feeling joyful? Are you feeling gratitude? Or are you feeling instead really low at the bottom? You're anxious, maybe you're depressed, or maybe you're feeling like, you know what, I wish I had that guy's job or that lady's spouse or that home. Maybe you're feeling resentful. Maybe you're feeling envious. Okay, those are all negative feelings. So how you feel is going to determine a lot about how your day goes. So once again, what are you focusing on? So just like the party we talked about earlier, what is your camera lens focusing on? We could see good and bad in any situation. We have a beautiful flower garden here, but if you're the type that's just going to look for all the little weeds in the bottom, or you look at the fence and you say, yeah, but there's a chip in the paint on that fence. That fence really isn't the nicest blue. I don't really care for the blue on that fence. Or you know what, the paint's peeling a little bit. All you're doing is focusing on the negatives. And how many times do you come home, and a lot of times myself included, you had a bad day at work, and next thing you know, you're angry with your kids, you're angry with your spouse, you see bicycles in the driveway when you get home, and you go to pull into your garage door goes up, and there's a scooter right in your way, or a ripstick or something else, and you're thinking, oh, I can't believe this. I once again have to get out of the car, and I have to walk over, and I need to pick this stuff up. This is just I don't need this today. Or you can look at it and say, wow, there's a lot of people in the world right now that would love that problem. Maybe it's a husband and wife that can't have children, and maybe that's you. You can't have children, you're trying to adopt, and you would give anything to be able to come home and have to trip over stuff getting to the door. Have to move a scooter or a bicycle out of the way just to be able to get your car in a garage. So once again, it's what we're focusing on. A lot of times we look at a bad day and we say, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is going wrong. I got a rip in my pants, or I got a stain on my shirt. And if you focus on that instead of the good that happened in the day, your day is going to be horrible. So once again, you can find good and bad in any day. You can have a beautiful flower garden like this, and yet you'll pick out the weeds. So the question is, what are you focusing on? So guys, if this is making sense and you're starting to think to yourself, wow, I could see that I'm focusing on bad things during the course of the day. I'm not grateful. I don't have gratitude. I focus on the negative instead of the positive. Give me a likes up or a thumbs up on that. In fact, you might want to go back and watch one of the Motivation Mondays I did a couple of weeks ago about the tale of two wolves, that we have these wolves inside of us battling. One wolf is good, one wolf is evil. And when this grandson is asking his grandfather, the Indian chief, which wolf wins, the good wolf or the bad wolf? The good wolf or the evil wolf? The grandfather said this, it's the wolf you feed. So go back, you might want to watch that. So once again, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the flowers, or are you focusing on the weeds? Focus on what you want, not what you don't want. How many times we go through the day and we're just focused? I hope this doesn't go wrong. I hope this meeting I hope I don't lose this contract. I hope I don't, get the bad diagnosis from the doctor. I hope my kid doesn't, mess up in school. Instead, focus on what you want. I'm going to get a great medical report. This business deal is going to go great. My kid's going to do exceptionally in school. How many times do we prepare? And I know what you're doing. You're trying to prepare for the negative so that way when it does come, it doesn't get you off guard. But don't do that. Don't even put out that kind of energy. Zip it. Get that right out of your mindset. Don't profess that. In the Bible, it talks about how life comes from the tongue. Well, it does. You could speak life or speak death to someone by what you say. So what you say to your child, I hear stories all the time about parents that just belittle their kids so much, where they tell them, you'll never amount to anything, you'll never grow up and be successful, you're probably going to end up in jail. And you know what, guess what, it happens because you professed it. So don't do that to your kids. At the same time, once again, focus on what you want, not what you don't want. If you want healthy and happy kids, focus on that. Envision that. There's many times we go through negative scenarios in our heads. I do it a lot myself, and I have to say, you know what, delete it. Change that and start thinking about something positive, because it's very easy to start to go through those negative reel-to-reels in your head or that negative tape. Instead, I want you to think about what you want, not what you don't want. For our patients, they know that we're moving into a new office soon. A bigger, newer office, beautiful. This is an office that I have been praying about, I have been visualizing. It's on my desktop, on my computer. For the past 4 years, I've been picturing this. And sure, there were many times when I thought about this scenario and I said, boy, something could go wrong. Somebody could take this spot from me. Or what if they build this building and somebody takes it for themselves? Or what if while I'm talking about this deal over here, this one I lose? I mean, I had so many things going through my head. But I also had to have the faith and say to myself, no, delete, zip it, stop it. Think about what I want, not what I don't want. So I had to visualize in my head, no, I picture myself on that lot. And for a lot of my patients, I've told some of you this, but not all of you, but this is just how serious I was about this. At night, I would walk the lot. I would walk this lot round and round and round, and I would pray to God and say, thank you, Lord, for giving me this spot. Not, gee, Lord, I hope you bless me with this. That would be great if you did. No, I professed it in an affirmation that it was done. I said, thank you for giving me this perfect practice location where I could serve my community and help sick people get well. It wasn't about, hey, maybe this would be great if I could have this one day. No, this was professing it, that it was done. I would drive past after dropping my kids off at school and see the lot and say, thank you, Lord, for giving me that perfect practice location. Thank you for making that dream come to pass. Thank you for giving me my beautiful building I want. That's how sure I was. I would walk my dog and I would stop on that lot and look up and say, thank you, Lord, for giving me this. Thank you so much for giving me this property. Thank you so much for making this my perfect practice location, because I wanted His best for me. What did I focus on? I focused on what I wanted, not what I didn't want. I didn't focus on, oh, they're probably going to sell this lot out from under me. Oh, they're probably going to, put something up and it's going to be a space that I can't lease, or it's going to, whatever. I didn't think about that. And if I did, I changed it quickly. So guys, you need to do that. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on what you want or what you don't want? You have to focus on what you want, because once again, it changes your energy state. When you focus on what you want, you raise your energy. When you focus on what you don't want, you lower your energy. When you focus on what you want, you feel good about it. Remember, like I said, your day and your success is going to be determined by how you feel about things. So when you're focusing on what you want, you're going to feel good. It raises your energy and you attract it. When you focus on what you don't want, you lower your energy, and then you attract what you don't want. Now, whether you believe in that or not, it's the truth. You know it. You walk into a room and you feel high energy, and you're thinking, wow, this guy, I love being around these people, or I love being around this guy or this girl. She's got high energy, feels great. I could vibrate with her. I could just feel the energy. I want to do business with that person. I want to, that person to mentor me. Or you can walk into a room and you just feel the weight, you feel the heaviness of the room, because the people are just so negative and down and out. Next thing you know, you just walk out, you're like, I don't want to deal with this crowd. So you're going to attract based on how you feel. Are you feeling good, raising your energy level, or are you feeling bad and lowering your energy level? It's your choice. It's what you're focusing on. And what I would suggest to you is focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Because did you ever notice that when you start focusing on what you want, other things pop up into your life? Watch this. You get a car. You get a new car, and it's a Honda Odyssey. And it's a red Honda Odyssey, or I bet a gold one. We see a lot of gold ones around here. You get a gold Honda Odyssey, and all of a sudden you see them everywhere. Or did you ever drive past a building site, and you're looking for a coffee shop, and next thing you know, you're noticing coffee shops all over? Or you're looking for some product online, and you'd never even heard of it before. Now all of a sudden, this product is showing up all over the place, and I didn't know you had one, and my friend has one, and this person has one. But you especially see it with cars. You just see a car that you like, you buy that car, and next thing you know, they're showing up everywhere. Well, they were always there. You're just now noticing it. They were there before. It's now on your radar. So your RAS, or reticular activating system, it's called, is a real system within our bodies that our bodies start to then notice like things that we tend to put out. So if you're putting out that you want good things to come to you, you're focusing on good things like success and happiness, you're focusing on that business deal working out, you're focusing on that health working out, all of a sudden you know people are coming into your life that have the answers. People are coming up to you and saying, hey, listen, I just feel like I'm supposed to give you this, and it's some piece of information. Or all of a sudden, you're getting people lined up. You needed some financing for a job, and next thing you know, the financier is showing up. Or you meet some person at a party, and they're a banker, and you're like, I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm talking to you right now. I needed to meet someone like you. Well, once you put your radar out, it's called a reticular activating system. This is a real thing, guys. Once you put your radar out, you will start then attracting different things that you need in your life. And so it's an amazing process, and it's true. So what you want to focus on then, once again, is what you want, not what you don't want. So once again, I'm just checking in. Hey, Sean. Good to see you, brother. I always can count on you, so I appreciate it. All right. So once again, you also want to focus on the solution, not the problem. Because here's the thing. A lot of times you have to look at the situation and say, you know what? I'm bigger than this. I'm bigger than this problem. When you focus on the solution rather than the problem, ideas come to you. You get these, breakthroughs. You get these inklings. You get this intuition. All this happens because now you're focused on the solution, not the problem. Once again, what are you focusing on? The good or the bad? What are you focusing on? What you want or what you don't want? Well, when you focus on the solution and not the problem, you get answers. You get answers. Like I said, people show up in your life. In fact, I was having this issue once before where I needed some answers to some questions I had, and I said, God, give me the answers to this. I need to know the answers to this. And wouldn't you know it, I was in Florida when that happened, on spring break. This is about 3 years ago, almost 4. And when I got back on spring break, one of my patients walked in the door. His name is Tom. And I said, hey, Tom, how's it going? I was adjusting a patient. He was next in line, so he comes over. And he says to me, listen, I got to tell you something. He goes, first of all, how was your trip? I said, it was a great trip. Had a great spring break. Nice to get away, recharge the batteries. He goes, I got to tell you something. I don't know how you're going to take this. He goes, but God put it on my heart to give you a message. I was like, what? God put it on your heart to give me a message? I couldn't believe it. Turns out, what I asked for, what I focused on as a solution, came to me by someone else bringing it to me. All of a sudden, this person walked in my door and said, God wants you to know this. I was shocked. How many times did that happen to you? If it's happened to you guys, give me a thumbs up or put in the comments section, maybe comment in what happened to you. What was your experience? Share that with the rest of the people on the line. In fact, guys, if you put something down in the thing, and I might not see it right away, or you maybe aren't seeing this live, we'll answer your questions later on, and all the people in our community will contribute to it. But once again, focus on the solution, not the problem. If you're problem-based, the problem's always going to seem huge. It's always going to seem out of your reach. It's always going to seem too far. But if you focus on a solution and ask empowering questions, that's the last thing. Ask empowering questions. When something's happening in your life, don't sit there and say, why is this happening to me? Why do I always get the bad luck? Why does this always, why do I always get the worst job or the worst situation or the worst news? Instead, ask an empowering question. Once again, good and bad is going to happen to all of us. We talked about that earlier. But the question I want you to ask yourself is, what am I going to learn out of this situation? What does God want me to learn here? Or how is this situation going to make me stronger? I want you to think about something. A kite doesn't sail higher when there's no wind. In fact, it doesn't sail higher with the wind. It sails higher when it's against the wind. When it's against the wind, it sails higher. A sailboat doesn't work unless there's adversity. It has to feel the pressure of the wind. And an eagle will not soar to its highest levels unless it feels the wind under its wings. That's what gives it the lift. So in order for you to go to a higher level, many times you have to hit adversity. So when you're in that adversity, instead of saying, why does this happen to me? Why am I so stupid? Why do I keep tracking this stuff? No, zip it. Ask yourself an empowering question. Ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to get out of this? How can I make this situation better and learn from something instead? How can I learn from this situation? How can I make this situation enjoyable as I'm going through this trauma? You know, it talks about in the Bible, David wrote, as I go through the valley of the shadow of death. Okay? I think it's Psalm 43 or something like that, I'm not sure, or 23. As I go through the valley of the shadow of death, it doesn't say as I stay in the valley of the shadow of death. No, as I go through it. We're all going to go through things. This too shall pass. You're going to go through it. You might as well run through it. If you're going through hell, as Tony Robbins says, keep running. Run through it. Just get through it to the other side. You know it's going to happen. But if you ask yourself the question, say, what am I going to get out of this? How is this going to benefit me somehow? You know, a lot of times when you're going from a lower mountain and you want to go to a higher mountain, you've got to go through the valley to get to the higher mountain, right? That's how it works. You have to go through valleys to get to mountains. So your life is no different. But when you're in the valley, don't beat yourself up about it and say, how does this happen to me? What's wrong with me? Why am I so stupid? Instead, just say, what am I supposed to learn out of this? Ask empowering questions and you're going to get better answers. Because you know what? With those other questions, it's going to say, I'll tell you why you're stupid. I'm going to tell you why this always happens to you because of this, this, and this. As opposed to, how am I supposed to learn from this? What can I get out of this? How can I benefit from this? Then you'll get better questions, all right? So hopefully, the guys, I hope that made sense to you. Once again, if you like this, please love it, okay? Don't just like it, love it. Give us the love and share it out, okay? That's the best thing we can do is always give this information to other people. If there's something valuable you learned, please share it with others because I know there's other people that are going through a tough situation right now that really could benefit from this information. And hopefully, as I always say, we're saving, changing, and transforming lives, okay? And that's really what it's about. We want you to live longer, healthier, and a more abundant life. So, guys, I hope you like this. If you do, give it a thumbs up, give it a love, or once again, please share it out because there's a lot of people that could really benefit from this. So anyway, guys, God bless. I love and appreciate you. Thanks for being on today. Go back and watch some of our other shows. We got a lot of great shows I think you're going to like. Anyway, God bless. Bye-bye.